There's very few things that trade today that people talk about like that. Now, there are obviously frauds and things that happen, but maybe not like this.
Like the dollar is like 100 times more.
Well, I know that's your perspective, but I'm just, I'm curious how you think about that.
That's true, though. This is how much has been money laundered with Bitcoin. This is how much, this is Bitcoin, this is dollars. This is Bitcoin, this is dollars.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and the top 200 by market cap. Well, it just doesn't look a whole lot better than this very often. Bitcoin is over 52,000. Top gainers are Boink, VeChain, Doge, Avalanche, Ethereum, Cardano, Algorand. They're all in that 6 to 15% up in the last 24 hours. And outside the top 200, at position of rank 414 is one of my favorite tokens, and that is Root. That is part of the Futureverse network. It's up 10%. XRP has made a 5% move to the upside, and it's sitting at 55 cents. If you're into payment tokens, there are 3 that I've been covering. My Patreons are very familiar with the deep dives that I've done on Stronghold, V Protocol, and WadsPay. I've actually had the CEO of WadsPay on my channel twice, and it's really starting to move because they are not only close to launching their payments chain, both public and private, but they have a very senior person from Ripple that is onboarding, and they're going to start in Singapore in his new role, so the AMA revealed, in the first week of April. Could it be Naveen Gupta? I really don't know who it is, but gosh, I think it very well could be.
And one thing that we talked about at the end of last year is that we're bringing on board a dedicated resource that will be handling that side of the business, the blockchain and WTK. So can you provide a little bit more of an update about when that resource is going to be starting with us?
He's starting in the first week of April. He's a very senior person coming, and currently he's going through an onboarding process. That onboarding process also includes strategizing of what we are planning to do. He will also lead a newly introduced initiative within the WadsPay world, which is stablecoin offerings, and he'll be leading that. He comes from one of the very reputed companies, Ripple, yes, he will be moving to Singapore very soon to start in his new role.
Tammy Camp, who is the co-founder and CEO of Stronghold, she was on my channel as well 2 years ago, and she's really making some moves with her company. The token, which is SHX, is up 1,779% over the last year. Yeah, it's taken a lot of patience. It's I held on, and I have to say I kind of wrote it off mentally, but so happy to see this kind of price action. This is the reason why many of us get into this space, right? And Velo Protocol, they really have gone deep now into their DeFi, so it's starting to pay off. They have 131% gain over the last 12 months. But the big news is John Deaton is, well, I think it's pretty much a given now. He's going to run against Elizabeth Warren for that Senate seat. Wow. We're going to talk a little bit about this. Here we go. Blockchain backer is coming to the Gold Coast in Australia. This is the Wave of Innovation 2024. He's going to be speaking and presenting, which I think is going to be a very interesting topic. I'm not going to give it away. And just hanging out with him, it'll be the first time that I have been able to meet him face to face. I'm very much looking forward to that. And someone else that might be a surprise is going to be there, and I'll let him tell you in his own words.
And something else I need to remind all of you of is that this March, I will be attending the Gold Coast Conference in Australia. And I'm absolutely excited to meet my Australians, as you guys are some of my favorite people.
The largest outside shareholder of Ripple and really making their own moves in blockchain is SBI Holdings here in Japan. So Mr. Kitao, I'm sure, was thrilled that he was able to report that net profits are up 7 times. Come on, Ripple, you're always telling us how transparent you are, but with this acquisition of Standard Custody and Trust, you still haven't told us what's going on with Polysign.
Joe, if I can say, the US dollar, the euro, the yen, you have the whole society using it as a medium of exchange. We buy our cups of coffee, as I see here. Right. We get paid in dollars or yen or euro. And you have a whole central bank and support for one currency generally per economic region. That we don't have here. So there is a very real economic difference.
Which is part of the attraction, since it's decentralized, and you can't have a profligate central bank.
It's not that decentralized, Joe.
Well, I know you're saying because of the ETFs, but really it is.
No, it's not that decentralized,
and everything.
because look how finance tends towards centralization since antiquity. Right. So what do we have? We have a handful of 3 to 6 core so-called crypto exchanges.
I understand, but the asset itself, the way that the
distributed ledger,
right? That's how the ledger. And
now, how many times do you have people on this show that say, "I want to invest in something because how the books and records are kept"? I mean, Joe, really?
The news about John Deaton has quickly become the big story. The Boston Globe, Politico, the Daily Beast, News 12, BNN. It's really just being published everywhere. I am so looking forward to the chance of John in a Senate hearing drilling the SEC. Somebody posted, "Can you imagine if he pulls this off?" Well, I can imagine. And I love this quote by Albert Einstein. "Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere." I'll see you tomorrow on the Good Morning Crypto Show. I don't do a lot of lives, but I do this one because it's just a lot of fun. It'll be my 1 o'clock in the morning, but it'll be 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to let Pompliano take you out. Why? Because what he says about the Bitcoin ETFs and how we are poised for an incredible bull run here. It doesn't matter what you own. When Bitcoin moves, everything moves. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
Pop, you say, that these Bitcoin ETFs, they're sounding the alarm. At first, it felt like everyone, including yourself, were really enthused about it. Did they not go off right? What's the hitch?
The alarm's good for Bitcoiners. If you think about what's happening right here, Wall Street's getting an intelligence test. If you paid attention in Economics 101, you're going to pass this test. There is hundreds of millions of dollars per day flowing into these Bitcoin ETFs, and there is only about $40 to $45 million of net new Bitcoin being produced. So there's 12.5 times more demand than there is supply being created every single day. If there's that much demand and that little supply, the price has got to go up to accommodate everyone. And so my guess is that we're about to see Bitcoin continue to grind up over the next couple of weeks.
So that's the structural buildup for this next big move.
Correct.
What's holding them back then?
Well, the Bitcoin's not being held back, right? I mean, It was at 47 and went down to 40,000 because everyone was dumping GBTC. Now, all of a sudden, we're back to 50,000. I think 50,000 is a psychological level as well. People get really excited. They say, hey, we're going back towards all-time highs. And as soon as Bitcoiners start saying it, somehow it usually happens.
It does, right? Now, you say you've got the next big bet. Share that with us.
Yeah, so if you look at what happened with the Bitcoin ETF, right? Bitcoin is an asset. It's now been accepted within Wall Street, and now people want to get access. And so we have these Bitcoin ETF issuers. I think that the next big run of equities is going to end up being in altcoin ETFs. And what I mean by that is forget which coin or which protocol, but the altcoin ETF issuers, I think, are going to have a great run over the next 2 years. I've made 3 bets here. I invested in Bitwise. I invested in a company called 21 Shares. And then the only publicly traded company is something called DeFi Technologies. And all 3 of these, they basically want to give people exposure to assets. They don't care which one you pick. They just want to make sure that it's easier for you to put money into this ecosystem in this industry. And I think all 3 will do well.
So a big thing with the ETF, the spot ETFs was general acceptance, not just Wall Street, But, Wall Street kind of giving it the veneer of acceptance. So, you're watching the Super Bowl, you couldn't help but see Jack Dorsey in there with Beyonce and Jay-Z with the Satori shirt on. Then I don't know what this was about, but I saw President Biden now, he's got the laser eyes. I don't know if that has anything to do with Bitcoin. But the bottom line, though, is generally, do you think that it's starting to reheat? Because there was this massive sort of, hey, everyone was talking about it, then it kind of fell apart. And, when that happens, a lot of folks who are not necessarily intelligent, into these things, they walk away and never come back. It feels like they're coming back.
The beauty of Bitcoin is that it's a decentralized organization. There is no CEO, there's no board of directors, and there is no marketing team, but price is the marketing campaign. And as the price goes up, more people talk about it. We're talking about it here today. More investors start to pay attention. They put capital in, and has this positive, reflexive kind of mechanism, which will drive the price higher and higher, which gets more people talking about it. And that's what leads to the outperformance.
So what's the all-time high?
The all-time high is $69,000. The most entertaining outcome of course, is exactly what's going to happen.
But you think we'll at least test that this year, maybe?
I think that we'll go to a new all-time high before the end of the year, especially if we continue to see hundreds of millions of dollars flowing into these ETFs every day.
Right. It's been amazing. Wow.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
I appreciate
Paul.
it.
Appreciate it.